I'm Presenta, Senior Dietitian from Paleto Nutricare, Chennai. We are a diet consulting firm in Chennai. We have come out with a series of tips on low carb diet. This will be the first set of 10 tips for low carb diet. Now let's get into the video. Low carb diet tip number 1. Please understand that obesity, diabetes and PCOS symptoms in women all have the same root cause, which is insulin resistance. Low carb diet effectively attacks this root cause. The science behind low carb diet is pretty solid. So if you know how this diet works, how exactly it helps in restoring body health, it motivates one to follow this diet effectively. Low carb diet tip number 2. If you understand the science, you'll realize that a low carb diet is not merely a diet but a lifestyle. It is better to approach this diet as a lifestyle change where you follow this diet for a long time in order to reap the benefit from this diet. Tip number 3. It is mandatory to get a complete blood test done before commencing diet, because in our practice we have observed that each person is different. Their body metabolism is different and there are many underlying conditions which may surface when necessary precautions are not taken in this diet. It is also necessary to consult your low carb doctor or low carb dietitian to get a customized diet chart which suits your current medical condition. This is a very important tip. If you follow a low carb diet by taking tips from the internet, it can possibly harm you. For example, if your blood uric acid or creatinine levels are high, and if you start eating more non-veg by taking tip from the internet, then it can cause damage to your health. So it is very important to follow this diet after a thorough analysis of your blood test report, under the guidance of a doctor or a low-carb dietitian. Tip number 4. Please go through the diet chart provided by a dietitian thoroughly. Remember your fasting and eating hours, foods to avoid, foods to include, cooking methods, masalas and ingredients to use. You can even post your diet plan in your kitchen if it's helpful. Tip number 5. Before starting low-carb diet, you shall purge and remove all junk food, snacks, savories, biscuits, potato wafers, chips, soft drinks from your kitchen pantry and replace them with healthy low-carb snacks and ingredients like nuts, seeds, cheese, butter, unripened guava, etc. This will help you to avoid unnecessary cravings. Tip number 6. In this diet, since the focus is on nutrient-dense food, high-quality ingredients, preferably organically grown, would be extremely helpful. Always use high-quality, low-carb ingredients. Tip number 7. All processed food typically have more sugar content and are made using refined carbohydrates to make them tasty. All tinned and frozen foods have harmful preservatives in them. So, it is important to completely avoid processed food. No processed food, tinned and frozen food is allowed in the diet. Always eat fresh food. Tip number 8. Most of us are fooled by phrases like fat-free or zero fat. Those foods are made tastier by adding a lot of sugar and carbohydrates, so check the food labels when buying packaged food, primarily for sugar and carbohydrate content. Tip number 9. When you don't plan for the next day's meal, there is a high possibility of you deviating from the diet, so clearly plan all the meals for the next day and if necessary, do the pre-preparations to make it easier. Tip number 10. To the extent possible, cook your own meals as it gives you more control over your meal. Also, make your family members aware of the diet you are following. Explain the diet and make them understand the health benefits so that they do not tempt you to cheat. Please stay tuned for more tips on low-carb diet. Also, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.